so much for the opportunity to make these closing remarks, but I think most importantly to thank you for coming to this particular event. And for those that did economics, you know there is something called an economic theory or principle. So we fed your lunch first, and you know there is no free lunch. So now we're actually asking you to do something, which is really your commitment, and I've had some of the comments from the floor in terms of a commitment to support this program by being champions, but by also, supporting with regards to your own talent pipeline strategies. Just in terms of the pilot that kicked off in August of this year, we kicked off with 100 candidates, as Anthony has alluded to. And just a shout out really to employers who've come on board and have come on board as early adopters, which is sometimes the most difficult thing to do. To be the one that says, we'll go in, we'll learn, we'll make a mess of it, but we're willing to go and try things out, and our risk appetite is there for us to try things out. So Discovery has come on board in a big way through their supply chain. So for employers that are interested in participating on the YES initiative, they are using it as a trial for the YES initiative. Hollard, so Hollard have come on board. Thank you for that. And Hollard has always been one of those partners that you could look for to try some of the crazy things that at Harambee we sort of cook up sometimes. So they've come on board, but I'm hearing a pledge for more numbers from Hollard, so that's a positive thing. That's a good thing. The JICP, which is the Johannesburg Inner City Partnership, and they represent a number of members, including members from the Johannesburg Property Owners and Managers Association, JPOMA, so the likes of EFCO, TAF, Plaidvest have all come on board, so thanks to them for coming on board. NEMPAC have also come on board, and Harambee lastly has come on board to also be a super user of its own processes and model. So 6 youth will be placed within Harambee's offices regionally, including in Johannesburg. But we're kicking off with another cohort of 120 in October, so that's really an open invitation. We actually have more subscription than we can fulfill at this particular point, so the total demand at the moment is 120 of a cohort of 100. So we actually are going to defer some of the demand to the October cycle. But there have been quite a lot of buzzwords from today's session, and in fact my role supposes that you've got a 10-minute attention span, like me, that I need to summarize what was said in the room. We had quite a number of buzzwords: new zones of opportunity, ecosystem, latent demand, pathways, blended learning, agile curriculum management, funded system, reorganization, multiplier effects. We also heard about credentialing, parallel pathways, and so on. So all of these are buzzwords that came out of today's session. But I think the most important aspect of all of these things put together is that we need to find scalable solutions that look to include and not exclude. So we've got high waterfall ratios. So we need to include rather than exclude. We need to make sure that ultimately we match and we are able to solve a tangible business problem. The only value proposition that this initiative will be able to create is when it addresses business challenges, because the question about sustainability comes from that. If we're able to support companies' own growth, and sometimes you need to support the growth from the ground up, that with quality human resources, you can produce better products, better services, and that in itself allows you to be a lot more competitive within a globalized environment, but also that we are able to export and be able to stimulate export as an avenue to be able to get foreign funding into the country and be able to create new net jobs. Lastly, I think what has been very key is the fact that this is a social compact. It requires all of us in the room and others that are not here to really look deep in terms of South Africa's direction as a country. I think we're sitting on a time bomb. And I say that not mildly. We're sitting on a time bomb that requires all of us to search meaningfully around how do we create economic participation that is meaningful, that leads to sustainable livelihoods, that leads to the dignity of work, And I think these are all of the positive things in terms of our own social agendas, seated here. So really it's a call to all of you to say it's a partnership. It's not a transactional relationship that we are asking for, and there is an opportunity. And if the opportunity is not immediate, this is a 3.5-year process that we've implemented, and therefore there are many other opportunities that will become available. Just lastly, there are brochures outside in case you haven't picked one up from the NBI, from the IRM initiative itself. My contact details, the contact details of Dr. Anthony Giver is Dr. Anthony Giver. He doesn't want to use his title. Why must we aspire to be doctors if you don't use the titles? You must encourage us. So Dr. Anthony Giver, his contact details are there as well, but there's also an opportunity for networking straight after this particular session. So thank you so much for coming once again. Safe travel back to your various destinations. And I think there are still refreshments outside for you to enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I just be opportunistic? On the comments for the landscape, yeah. So is there any forums where people, are you commenting individually, collectively, according sectorally? In the room?
As an organization, we are doing a collective one.
So are you doing it individually, company-wise, sectorally? Because BUSA has a process.
Makano, I think for ease of reference, everyone will have your email address. So perhaps if you want to share your comments, send to BUSA, send to Makano, we'll forward to BUSA. Now, Bev and I don't work for BUSA. We have day jobs, but we sit on the BUSA Committee for Education and Training.
Yes.
And we can have them before the 10th of September if possible, so that we can consolidate into a really representative business input that will be appreciated.
Thank you very much. There's an opportunity for you to use so that we strengthen our voice on these issues. Thank you very much.